Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Wrong one. Hey, watch this.
Say, gang, there's a big game down at the old stadium this Sunday.
There sure is. Too bad we don't have any tickets.
Well, you're in for a surprise, honey. Who wants to go see the Whistle Boys?
Oh, wow! That's awesome!
It's the hottest ticket in America. Whistle Boys! Jerome Boger, Sean Hochuli, Walt Anderson, Big Ron Torber, Carl Sheffer, and Clete Blakeman. Whistle Boys! See the league's hottest playmakers. Whistle Boys! Get your tickets today!
Clete Blakeman, he's my favorite referee.
Mine too, Bobby. Nobody screws up a game like good old Clete.
I like Jerome. He's so cute.
Oh boy, Dad, do you think we'll get to see some holding penalties?
Why, sure, Bobby. Probably a dozen or so.
And hands to the face?
Oh, you bet. Clete loves calling hands to the face.
Even when there isn't any.
I love NFL referees.
Well, there you go, Roger. Don't you just love it, don't you?
Well,
of course you do. It's spectacular. It's exactly the shot in the arm the NFL need.
Well, on one hand, I do like the idea of referees really screwing up the game of football. But on the other hand, I'm not quite sure our longtime fans are ready for this.
Oh, NFL fans. They're nothing but a bunch of beer-swilling, pizza-eating morons. You're the NFL commissioner. They'll take what you give them.
Yeah.
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 Fuck them.
Careful, darling. There might be advertisers in the building.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there you go.
Perfect.
Dude, I could go back all the way to the beginning of Bang Cartoons in 2003 to talk about referees and how bad they've been. But my God,
It's becoming. Look,
it's
you
not.
know, everybody
becoming.
always says
It's
you
long
don't
been.
you don't want to put the game in the referee's hands, and it's
Right.
true. You know,
Right.
But some of the shit's going on this year, and not just with our team, like league wide,
Everywhere.
It's fucking awful.
You know, it's. We'll get to the referees. I just figured I'd throw that out at the beginning, right there. It is Victory Monday, so of course Miss Happy here is with us today, and she will do her dance. So go, Miss Happy, do your thing, and hey, man, everybody happy. It's Victory Monday. She's a slut. I swear to God, she really is. I'm telling you, Miss Happy. After the show goes off, never mind. All right, so hey, man, Victory Monday. How you doing over there, my friend Jessy Martin from southeastern Virginia?
On to Philly. Let's
Philly.
take the win. We got the win, and it's time to move on.
Well, they're coming to us, so on to
true.
FedEx or on to Northwest, where
Northwest.
Philly's coming too. Yeah, we're on to Philadelphia.
On to
Scott
Philly
Hartley
week.
down there in the bottom right corner in his usual spot. Scott with the Band-Aid on his ear. We never noticed that, and now that's all we're ever going to see is Scott's Band-Aid in his ear on his little intro. How are you doing today, Scott?
All right, mate. Yeah, a win's a win, and that's all you can take from it. And yeah, all good. It's good. Always good on a Victory Monday.
Pretty much. How about you, Max? What do you think? Right down there's Max Taman, Max Detention. How are you? Oh, should have done that before the show started.
You know what? Stop it. You should have sent me a link before 5:30. How about that?
Well, you're right. So, what did you think of the game? All right, that's good enough. Jesse, let's hear your first thoughts on the game.
That's it. Just
Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was just it was a game. It was, it was very disappointing just in terms of what we actually came out and started with to how it finished.
Mm-hmm.
And defensively, what happened in the second half.
By the way, Max saying it's a game is a credit to the Troy Aikman School of Podcasting, because that was a definite Troy Aikman statement. Well, it was a game. There was a ball and two teams, and they
Jaden
played
Daniels,
until...
he's a guy. He can fumble the ball and throw a touchdown pass in the same play.
And they can play for fucking
ridiculous.
60 minutes and 4 seconds. Jesse, give me your first thoughts on the game. Just
Yeah,
overall.
I mean, kind of to go off what Max said, I mean, it was a game, and we played it, and we barely won. You know,
It was a game, we played
no,
it.
it's
Some
kind of
went
a
up,
tale
some
of two halves. You know, first half we seemed like just in total control, and the second half, just the wheels kind of started to fall off just a little bit. The lug nuts started to loosen.
But did it seem like we were in total control? I mean, I know
Yes.
a 17-point lead.
In
You're
the
in
first
total
half,
control, but it
for the
definitely
most
didn't
part.
feel as if we were just doing whatever we wanted.
For the way that our injuries on the offensive line, and then I don't know if y'all guys heard today, but both Allegretti and Cosme is sick. They played sick. They just weren't sick as Biotish.
All right, that's it. Group 6 in the hot tub for the fucking offensive line is over.
I think the Saints had a really good game plan to for our run game. They were selling out for the run, and we still kind of had control of the game. And it was because of Jaden. And Jaden, for the rookie that he is, he doesn't have many faults.
No.
Because that wasn't
yesterday.
If you look at that game, it's like he didn't play a great game, but I'll take that over what we've had the past 20 years every fucking week.
Hell yes. And I mean, any of these purists, Keith, and all of his friends could sit there and bring up a Kirk Cousins game or two or an RG3 game or two. But I think overall what we're seeing here is somebody who can consistently do this. Yeah. And even though, before I get to my part, Scotty, let's hear your initial thoughts on the game. Sorry to leave you out there, my friend.
No, it's okay, mate. Yeah, I mean, it was one of them where we got the win, which was what we wanted, and we couldn't lose that game. That's something we couldn't do. Going into the Philly week, you coming off a loss like that, you'd have been,
Philly would have been must win, in my opinion.
And that's tough, but. We won because of Jaden, not despite him, which in the past we've won because of other reasons. And I thought Jaden put the team on his back and kind of we pushed through and we got a win because of it. Yes, he did some stupid stuff, which we talked about a little bit yesterday, but overall it was decent enough performance. And then we just fell off in the second half. I don't know what is going on when we get to mid-third quarter. We just seem to become a different team.
Speaking of that, Scotty, I heard a stat today. We were plus 83 points differential in the first half of games. You know what we are in the second half?
Yeah. Minus 24, are we, or something?
No, plus 3.
Plus 3.
Wow, okay.
That difference right there is fucking mind-blowing right there. We have a second half issue. And this could go to... attrition. We just don't have enough top quality players. We don't have any fucking. We don't have no depth. But
I don't know. All right.
What do you mean you don't know? Please tell me you don't think we actually have depth.
I don't know what I'm going to say yet because I haven't had a chance to say anything yet. So here's what I'm going to say. I think that Dieter is an adequate depth piece, but the fact that Allegretti and Cosme were sick explains a lot because Cosme had a bad game. All right. Scott G, stir the pot. What's up, Scott?
He's right.
Stir the pot, Scott. What's going on, brother? So we'll talk about Terry in a minute and his elite status or not. The way I felt about it is that in the first half, you're right. We up 17-0, and yes, you would think that we were in control of this football game. But let's take the opening field goal that we took off the board, and Max had himself a panic about it. And you don't ever take points off the board, which I fully agree with.
You know what?
Unless it gives you the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, but look at the plays that happened after that.
Right, it took forever.
Not even it took forever. We had the fluky fumble where Jaden was surfing on top of the lineman and the ball went back 5 yards. Jaden fumbled the ball again, but then threw a touchdown. Fluky stuff happens when you take points off the board.
I agree. And it wasn't just that, but that was part and parcel of why I felt uncomfortable, even through a first half that we're lead by 17 points. I mean, granted, Jaden made a hell of a play and threw a touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin, who made a hell of a play to catch it, where I thought, who the fuck is he throwing it to? Both him and Robinson are there. The coverage is very tight. I think that the Next Gen Stats said that Terry had a better chance of fathering a ferret than catching that ball.
But when Jake Haener was under center, there was absolutely zero doubts we weren't going to win this game.
Right.
You know,
He made
I had zero doubts. I mean, because he could do nothing. They had 39 yards in the first half, and 38 of those yards came off of one fucking play.
Right, and then they went immediately backwards after they hit that play.
The feeling when we're going in here now on Monday after this game is a completely different feeling to how I felt when we were so far ahead against the Titans and against the Panthers. Them teams, when we were in that game, I felt like there was an offense, like like it was rolling, like it was play by play, and I never felt at all that we were in doubt. To your point, John, it was like yesterday. You're thinking to yourself, 17, yeah,
it just wasn't smooth.
It just didn't seem like that at all.
So
go ahead, Max.
Before the game, when we were doing our predictions on Friday, I said it would be 28-10, and you guys were kind of scratching your heads at me, saying, you think we're only going to score 28 on this team.
Yeah.
Well, I said it's going to be a game that we control, but it's going to be a game we don't put up a lot of points, and that's pretty much what happened for the first 2.5 quarters.
Look, the Saints are 3-1 in their last 4 games, and they've killed it on the defensive side of the ball. I know John was saying that they weren't worried, but he wasn't worried about their defense. They sucked. They only gave up 4 or 5 yards per carry. But the last 4 games, because they've gotten healthy, they've gotten players back. They've been playing pretty damn well.
I mean, the most points they've given up.
You can't argue with 8 sacks. There's nothing you can say about 8 sacks.
They gave up 21 points to the Rams, and that was the most they've given up in a month.
Yeah. So all right. So kudos to them. So a hard fought, well earned win by the Commanders is what I'm hearing. Da-da-da.
Well,
by the way, the opposing coach, every time they looked at him on the sidelines, just looked.
That's not to say that we did not make our fair share of mistakes. And
oh my God!
I mean, that is fair.
The thing about it was
Terry catches one of those passes, and it's a total different game.
Right. All right. So okay. Well, we might as well hit the 2 elephants. All right, so Terry, had a hell of a game. Another hell of a game. This is, what's he got now? 9 or 11 touchdowns on the year?
11,
Jessy,
11 touchdowns on the year. This is his multiple games with multiple touchdowns.
He is 1 TD away from the all-time record.
For the Commanders or for the Redskins? Redskins
Both.
Season record?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
12.
damn good. That's pretty damn good, especially if he does it in 16 games, because that would be equal to the all-time greats that we've had, except for Charlie Taylor. And one of my favorites, Roy Jefferson. But, okay, so he missed a pass that bounced off his fingertips that I thought was just slightly overthrown. But should he have caught that ball? Before we get to Jesse and his poo-hoo, and let's start with Max. Should he have caught that ball?
That one he should have.
Really?
It hit him in the hands.
It hit him in the
hand.
It hit him in the ends of a hand.
It's when you have those gloves, if it hits you in the fingertip, you catch the ball.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty harsh. Scott, do you agree with that?
Yes. I think he should have caught it. Yeah, I do think he should have caught it. But it was when you watch that one back, he almost stuttered halfway through the route.
He did. Yeah. He slowed down, almost stopped. He almost gave up on the route.
The play was broken, I think, and then he decided to just bust it long. And I don't think it was a design run for him to just fly up the field.
I will say that in the game, though, he did have 10 targets and 7 catches.
Yeah.
The 3 that he didn't catch, the one we're talking about, the one that should have been a pass interference that
definitely should have been
on the sideline and yelled at the official about.
100%.
And he had another one that was overthrown on the near sideline. That one was an overthrow.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else that was thrown his way, he caught.
Yeah. Including a very difficult touchdown that I do believe that Next Gen Stats said that he had a better chance of passing a basketball through his butthole than he had of catching that ball.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Next Gen Stats, man. Don't tell me. They come up with some wild ways to give you the facts. All right, so the other elephant in the room, NFL officiating. All right, now, you know me, for one. Before I go anywhere with this, I never blame a game on a referee. And Jaden Daniels, kudos to him for saying right afterwards, if we score on any of those other drives, we don't worry about this.
I appreciated that comment. That's good.
That was 100% correct and the absolute right mindset. Because
dude is just not a rookie in any way, man. Just doesn't seem like it. The way he handles the press, the way he handles himself, good for him.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you though, good for him. But the fact of as fans watching this fucking game, how the hell can this officiating Hochuli continues? The Hochulis have been fucking up games in this league now for 3 decades. How do they keep getting jobs? How do they keep looking at this Sean Hochuli? And it's because I'll tell you, the fucking commissioner looks at it and goes, well, he gets 99.9% of it right. And the problem is the 0.1% is a situation that gives the Saints a fucking chance at a touchdown that they should have never got because they can't fucking control a clock. And then he comes off and says, well, that's not reviewable. Well, bullshit, it's not.
They did it earlier in that game. They did it earlier in the fucking game. Listen. The field goal that we missed, okay? Right. They went back and reviewed, or it was a, what do they call it? The
expedited review.
Yeah, expedited review from New York. Mm-hmm. If they could review that, then they could review fucking that. So that's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
It is complete bullshit that was allowed to happen. And this is where people, I think, get really fed up with it because, I mean, come on, NFL. This is you know what you've got, and you already know you've got everybody almost on the planet watching this. We're all gambling on it now. How can you continue to let this kind of stuff happen? Yeah. How is it that Sean Hochuli, you know what, tomorrow the Commanders will get the phone call. We're very sorry about, Sean and his stupidity with the clock.
If that caused us to lose the game, oh my goodness.
Oh my words. Mm-hmm. There would have been.
We have no recourse anyway. They're going to call up and say we're sorry, but it doesn't make any difference. And the fact is there's not only just, okay, we're all gamblers and having fun and playing games and everything like that, but we don't even matter in this. Your own players and coaches' jobs are on the line for this.
Sure.
These fucking guys
can't
keep running a clock.
The playoff ramifications. Of that one play right there.
Look, weird stuff happens in that stadium all the time.
Fuck yeah, man. A whole bunch of people got in there for a hurricane, and now it's haunted.
Not even that. Nickel Roby Coleman in the NFC Championship game 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. Caused Sean Payton to explode so much that they tried to review pass interference.
Right.
Now, I'm going to say a game from 2016 that still gives me nightmares because we had a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left and lost.
Were you out of diapers then?
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
But Kirk Cousins, the Saints tied the game at 31 with like 30 seconds left. Kirk Cousins drove down the field to put us in position for the field goal, took a step back and threw it out of bounds, and they called intentional grounding.
Right.
We got the phone call 2 days later. Sorry.
We're sorry about that.
Weird stuff happens in that stadium all the time.
It's fucking Philly. There's a legend there because they built it on a plot of land and some old voodoo woman fucking put a curse.
And Archie Manning bled somewhere, and then
I'm dead serious. The voodoo woman, you got to look her up, man. She put a curse on this land in like 1967, and the Saints, and they've won one Super Bowl, so they thought the curse was lifted. Scott, you haven't said anything for a while. Say some words so that we know you're alive.
I am alive. It's all good, man. I'm just listening.
Mute him.
Go ahead, Scott.
Good enough. There we go. All right.
No, I'm just saying it's Jerry Smith, Charlie Taylor, Hugh Taylor, and Sanders are with 12. It's 4 people tied. So do I think Terry's elite? He's getting there. If he carries his team on his back and he comes out with another 2 or 3 touchdowns, then yeah, he's, as Jessy said, I definitely think he's in the top 15. That's 100%. Is he elite for this team? Yes. Could we get better?
He's our number 1 receiver.
Jessy, have you have your list yet?
I mean, I could make it in fucking 30 seconds, but...
You told us a month ago that you'd have it by Thanksgiving, and then you said you had too much stuff going on. It's on recording, buddy.
I'll get your list on Friday. How about that?
So real quick, because are we going to limit this to receivers in general or just number 1s? Because I have a number for both.
We're just receivers in general.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
that maybe adds 4 to 5 to my list, just so you know.
It's. I mean, look, we can honestly say he's no Jamar Chase. He's not a Justin.
You're right.
Jefferson,
he's not top 5,
but
he
is a number 1 receiver in the league. I mean, he's a great receiver. Is he that elite status? No. I mean, if we're really being honest with ourselves and looking at the whole picture here.
Right. But when you make this list, Jessy, I need you to just keep in mind we're going with right now. So, like Devontae Adams, I'm going to throw a hay fit if you have Devontae Adams on your list.
Oh, he will be on there. Because I would take him over Terry McLaurin today, right now.
No.
Did you see him play yesterday?
Yeah, did you see him play when he didn't have the fucking quarterback he's had for years? Did you see what he played in Vegas?
If you have a good, that doesn't make a
Jesse,
difference.
what do you mean? He's been looking.
He's been
his
playing with some
entire-
shit.
He's been playing with. He played awful with the entire quarterback until he had Rodgers again, and then even when he had Rodgers, he wasn't good until 3 weeks ago.
Talking about Devontae Adams. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand what you're saying
It's
because
so
of
fucking crazy.
Jamar Chase is the same. Is Jamar Chase as good as everyone thinks he is? Probably, but it's done by the quarterback. If you have the quarterback there, it's fine. Imagine what Terry would have looked like had he had competent quarterback play for the last 4 years.
He would look like he looks like right now.
Yeah, his physical features aren't going to change any. I think he's still going to probably have the same haircut.
No, I mean,
he doesn't
he
doesn't have breakaway speed. He does have drops. He's not a hand catcher. He's not like super clean out of his breaks. And when you're talking about receivers, you're talking about the full package here. Now, what he does have one elite trait that I will admit 100%. I think he's better than anybody in the league at is that contested catches.
Yeah, he is. And the fact that he makes them in the end zone at a high rate. Right now, he's only behind, Jamar Chase this year for touchdowns.
Yeah.
By one.
That's an elite guy. So, like I said, it's hard to say that next year would
he's
be a
having
telling point.
an excellent year.
Yeah. Next year it would be a second year that he would have with a great quarterback or a much better quarterback. I should not get ahead of myself. But it's hard to say that would be the way to tell is to see how he does next year and if it's something that's not a fluke. But he's another year older. You know.
What is he, 28 right now? Is he
29?
29. Yeah.
He is the only person on this team, apart from Jaden Daniels, that would get a first-round pick, in my opinion, from another team.
That's very possible.
That's it.
That's very possible. Everyone says he's not top five, and people think there are 15 elite receivers they grade on a curve. In my opinion, says Scott G. When you talk about grading on a curve, I guess so.
Top five, you're looking at the Jamars, the Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, and
AJ Brown.
I would point out that Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin
definitely
Jefferson both had long droughts this season. Amon-Ra St. Brown scored yesterday for the first time in like a month and a half.
And sometimes that happens, but that doesn't take away his eliteness, you know? I mean, look at the Lions. I mean, they're full of talent. Now,
you're going to say an elite receiver catches the ball
the Lions have the all-injured team right now.
Yeah.
David Montgomery's out for the year now, by the way.
Saw that today, man.
They got some serious injuries as well.
They have 11 players on IR on defense. They have
another one. No, they got 12 now because another one went
Someone
out
got an MCL spray.
Yeah,
he got
that was Montgomery.
That was Montgomery.
No, on defense.
No, someone else on
you're
defense.
talking Alim McNeil, torn ACL.
Is it? Yeah.
That made it 11 today.
Oh, I thought it made it 12. I thought it was 11 before because they were talking about last week. But yeah, no, they have they have major issues for injuries, but they have depth. You know, I mean, they still put up how many points yesterday?
A lot.
They couldn't stop anybody, but they are playing the Bills.
We're not talking about the Bills, but what's going on with the Bills' defense?
I mean, they played two great
offenses.
offenses.
The Bills, but what's up with the Bills?
You're right, but
this is not a Bills podcast.
They've given up 87 points in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, but look at their playing. You know, you got to give some credit to them.
This is the same Rams team that just put up 12.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I know? You see how I've been gambling this year, for fuck's sake? Yesterday, I got within one of making one of my picks win. I got within one, and the goddamn Seahawks fucked me. And the Miami Dolphins fucked me earlier in the day. So there's that.
Played awfully last
Talk about putting a basketball through your butthole there, John.
Well, yeah, I know. I figured the Dolphins were going to do a little bit better than they did. They've been playing better. But
they got shaken up because of that receiver.
All right, back to the
did our playoff scenario change at all yesterday?
So
little bit
entrenched in the 7.
Yeah. From Seattle losing, I think the Rams look like it's probably going to take over that spot in the division, so we don't got to really worry about the Rams. But one thing we do have to worry about is Tampa Bay a little bit. So as long as Tampa Bay wins their division, I think we'll
Tampa
be all right.
minus the results of tonight. Because is it safe to assume that Atlanta's winning tonight?
No.
Yes.
Probably, but I'm not
safe to
putting
assume
I'm
that.
not putting
Kirk Cousins is
100%
capable
100
of
chips
4
on that one.
interceptions.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just assume Atlanta wins. Atlanta's a game back at Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And then they are 2 games back of us, and they still have to come here.
I think our playoff we will secure a playoff spot with a win at Atlanta. Or
Are you saying like
next
that's
week
what you
against
think is going to
Philadelphia.
happen, or in terms of what's
no,
defense?
that's our issue. We have to win one more game, and Atlanta has to lose one more game, and we're in.
Yeah, I
so
don't think we're
Atlanta's
going
got
to go
left
to the
Carolina
I think
and
the
who?
sixth seed is still going, but
The sixth
I don't
seed's
think we'll
still
get
there.
I don't think we'll get there.
No, I don't
My thing
Green
is
Bay are too far ahead now.
it's Green Bay, Minnesota in 2 weeks. That's
All right.
going to be the big game.
So let me
Minnesota
ask you
could
this.
overtake Detroit for
Especially
the
Philadelphia
NFC
could
North.
overtake both of them.
Let's
Well,
step
I'm
way
saying for
ahead
the
of
NFC
ourselves.
North because they play each other
Okay.
week 18.
If the season ended today, who are we playing?
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Philly, yeah.
If the season ended right now, the playoff matchups in the NFC would be Washington at Philadelphia, Green Bay at Tampa, and Minnesota at the Rams.
You know, I'm not ashamed to say I'm afraid of Philadelphia. They are peaking. They've gone through a lot of bullshit. You know what? Last week, fucking A.J. Brown starts crying in the media, and you know what? Sirianni said, okay, we'll feed you the ball. And yesterday, they trounced the Steelers. There wasn't even a fucking doubt in that game.
That Philadelphia team has zero respect for Sirianni. Did
I
you
will
see
also
what
say-
happened?
Doesn't matter.
Yesterday?
Pittsburgh is a different team without George Pickens.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing too. Is Pittsburgh had no passing game because Russell Wilson couldn't do one of his moonballs to anybody.
They weigh about 45 pounds less without him, too. All right, so back to the Commanders game here. We're talking about the playoff scenarios, and that's pretty much really all there is to say about it. So we can hit butt pats and head smacks and then go from there. So, all right, so we're well ahead of ourselves. And I need the time to be able to find what the fuck I'm doing here. I'll tell you what. Here, we're at the halftime.
You know what?
portion
We'll
of the
say.
show.
Let me put this up. We'll talk about this real quick. Hold on,
All right.
before we do butt pats. We are 9-5 for the first time since 1992. Man, that's a long fucking time.
Yes.
Jesse, that's my whole life, buddy.
It's a long
it's more than
fucking
your
time.
life.
It's long before my fandom too, mate.
I was sitting here in 1992 going, boy, we just don't look like the team that just won the Super Bowl, do we?
Yeah.
We had just gotten, who was it? We got him from Michigan. Oh, fuck.
Desmond Howard.
Desmond Howard. We got Desmond
Yeah.
Howard. Somehow that they
Oh,
managed
so
to,
excited when we got him. Man.
I know. We somehow managed to get up to the 4th pick and get him. You know, and the fact of the matter was, back then, we just were not used to picking in the draft, period.
Yeah, well,
You know, we didn't have a whole lot of picks. So when we got him, I was all excited, and it just didn't work out. And then the year after that, 93 was just god-awful. John had hair then. You're right. He did, but not in the spot back here. This spot back here has been clean since, I don't know.
Genuine quick question then. What is going to be our final record?
11-6.
All right. 11-6. You think we got one more loss in us?
I think we lose to Philly
next week.
Beat Atlanta and beat Dallas.
Dallas looked pretty damn good.
Okay.
That is the Panthers.
And we already lost to them once.
They did kick our ass.
Yeah, but it's the same
I don't
thing
know.
as 2015. We're going to lose
You
to them at
can't
home.
keep saying that.
I can't, but it's everything I've been saying about 2015 has come true. Every
Really?
single thing
Every
I've
single
said.
thing. Okay.
What about your what about your bets?
The bets aren't right, but this team with 2015
So his
as a
money
comparison.
isn't right, but his mouth is doing just fine.
Um,
All right, Scott, do you remember 2015?
Yes.
Is he right? See, I just put
Yeah,
Scott
yeah.
on the spot to answer a question he can't possibly answer.
I can't. I was
All right.
looking at our record predictions, but yeah, it's okay.
Right, so we'll do this.
Attaboy. Bet smash.
What? Does that always place? It seems like it's
Butt pat. Attaboy. Bet smash.
There you go. This is our famous butt pats and head smacks segment. So if you're new to the podcast, this is when we figuratively go around the locker room and pat the butt of the guy who we think who did a good job, and we smack the guy on the head who we think we did a poor job. I tell you what, speaking of the locker room, one thing I'm glad about from yesterday is finding out that after the game the locker room was rather subdued. I'm glad that it was not like raucous party, yay, ha ha ha. They felt like they they know they need some work to do, and I like that. Bobby Wagner especially. He'll kick their ass, get them going. All right, so we'll start with you, Jesse. Who's your first butt pat on offense?
I got to give it to Jaden Daniels. Was it a perfect game? Absolutely not. I'll probably give him a little bit
close
of
to it. 25 of 31.
Just for a couple of things. But he, if like I said earlier, if that's the worst it gets, and that wasn't a great game. But it was good enough. So I'll take it.
Attaboy.
Jaden Daniels. All right, Scotty, what about you?
Yeah, first one, going to go Terry McLaurin. I'll take the low-hanging fruit. It was great. It was fantastic yesterday, apart from a couple of catches that were one couple were overthrown and one he should have caught.
All right,
but I can forgive him that. 2 touchdown day, 70 odd yards. Yeah, it was a good
No
game.
forgiveness for Terry.
He's probably tired of us calling him a fruit, though. Max, what about you? Get
out of here.
Whoops.
Attaboy.
I hit the wrong one twice now.
You did. I'm going to say Zach Ertz. Just because of that little one-handed catch.
That was a nice catch.
And he held on the ball when he was knocked out on the field. So,
You know what's funny about that is everybody kind of complained about Zach Ertz is no yak Zach. And lately he's been getting some yak, and he got a little bit of yak on that play too. But I guess, would he bang his head on the turf?
Yeah.
Yes, side of the head.
It just didn't seem...
Scott, just for old time's sake, can I get an Ertz, please?
Ertz is hurt.
Oh, all right, so a butt pat for Zach Ertz for a play in which he got Ertz was hurt. Is the butt pat's even playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, I don't know what the fuck it's doing. I can't hear it. All right, my first butt pat on offense. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Diami Brown. Sure. I thought that he didn't have many catches, but he did a pretty good job with him. I can't hear that at all. I think he did a pretty good job of him with what he had, and he had some opportunities. He did get called for holding, which I didn't like. That wasn't good. But overall, you guys took the other ones that are worth mentioning. I don't think anybody on the offensive line was worth talking
I mean, there's been, during our wins, there's plenty of butt pass to go around, especially on offense. And
there it is.
I think we pretty much hit them.
Oh, so yeah, I mean,
there's
sure.
There's one more. I've got one more. Yeah, you go, Max.
You got it, because if you say it, I'm going to give you some commendation here.
Okay, well, I think it's not necessarily on offense. It's on returns. I thought McCaffrey was pretty decent when he was returning.
All right, on returns, we'll give him that. Offense, no. Go ahead.
And I want to say Jeremy McNichols for that fumble recovery.
Fumble recovery and blocking. Dude is fucking nasty.
Yeah, he's good at
blitz pickup.
The blitz pickup, yes, but that fumble recovery was head on a swivel. Hey, jump on the ball.
Yep.
We've been pretty good about that all year, in fact. But yeah, his blitz pickup, he's going to the Clinton Porter School, is shocking the shit out of somebody, and I like that. So I'll jump on board that, and I'll go ahead and pat Jeremy on the butt as well. All right, let's see.
Boy.
We got some. What's that?
You gave McNichols a double butt pat? Oh, man.
Yeah, I'll give him one. All right, let's do some head smacks on offense. Go ahead, Jesse.
There's a few to pick. I won't take the low-hanging fruit. But I'll just say this. Jade needs to learn to throw the ball away.
He does tend to play hero ball a bit.
Let's that
seems to be a new habit.
He is a rookie, and he's looking for the big play, but he's also running into some sacks. Everybody will blame the offensive line for a lot of them, but there's some sacks where he just ran out of bounds and they still counted as a sack, even though it was no yard loss or like a half a yard loss.
Right.
That's fine. That's whatever. But throw the ball away. Then sometimes, I mean, there was at least 3 of them where he just ran right smack in the middle of them. And then there was probably like 2, maybe 3 sacks actually on the offensive line.
I'll tell you what, I agree. I'm going to get out of here. That's for Jaden, because you are doing this a bit more. He was number 1 in the NFL at the early part of the season in time to throw, like 2 seconds out of his hand. Now he's running around back there. He had the ball for 8 seconds on the touchdown to Terry McLaurin, which, great, it worked out. But you can't expect to be able to do that all the time. You're not Patrick Mahomes running around back there.
He did juke the hell out of Brian Brzee.
Oh, he
That's
did.
fine.
That was pretty
good.
That was great. But one of these times, somebody's going to clean your clock, and remember, Mahomes, he does do that shit, but he has also gotten his knee dislocated in a game.
Well, that was because of a QB sneak.
Whatever it was. I mean, you're not invulnerable is what I'm
Just
trying
try
to
to
say.
take the limit the hits. You're not the biggest guy in the world.
Right.
You're
To
not
John's
Josh Allen.
point there, though, you've got to think the reasoning behind why he looked like he was off is the offensive line changes are not going to help. But,
Right.
I mean, Scouse is right by saying the O-line probably all need a head smack. I agree with that, but then to hear after the game that they're all on IV drips and that Cosme's sick,
It's a bad
Allegretti's
gumbo.
sick.
Allegretti and you
It's-
on your second
and-
center. And
and it's like-
understandable. It's
Right.
understandable.
Right. That's why I'm
get it.
not terribly hard on the offensive line, especially finding out that Cosme and Allegretti are sick. Otherwise, I'd be giving frickin' Cosme a bunch of head smacks. He got his ass.
I thought he had an
handed to him
awful.
yesterday.
But
Well, he's still
on
getting
the other
a head
hand,
smack. I thought
on
he
the
was
other
awful.
hand, if you're well enough to play, you need to.
You got to play.
You got to
That's
play.
right.
Yeah.
You got to play right. I'm
So,
going
yeah.
to go ahead and give one. I'm going to agree with Scott G up there. This I had written down was Luke McCaffrey. Dude, you got to mix. Everybody's waiting for you.
Yeah.
And I get it that it
Yeah.
seems like that Quinn is hesitant to put rookies out there and give them much to do. But you know what?
It was his job. On that,
Jahan Dotson is up in Philadelphia because he didn't block. Yesterday, your job was to block or to chip
And he,
on
he
a
just
sack.
did not get that. Yeah, he
Cam
did not
Jordan,
get
and
that.
not only did he not chip Cam Jordan, Jordan got the sack, but he just floated out there. And when you look at that play, I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of a head smack to Cliff because there was no rhyme or reason to some of the shit that was going on. For one, asking McCaffrey to chip Cam Jordan is a big ask anyway. Cam Jordan's a hell of a
But they've done that play all year.
Sure.
And
But did you see
with
where he floated
McCaffrey.
out? He
Yeah,
floated
no,
right-
you're absolutely. I don't
was
think they
nothing
should.
there.
I'll give Cliff a head smack for even doing a play action.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was needed there. I thought they should have just ran the ball right there.
Right. Well, listening to Kime today, the way that it sounded like to me was that they wanted McCaffrey to shove Jordan to the inside, so that gave Jaden the opportunity to either throw it to McCaffrey there or run it in.
It's a waggle.
There's two guys there. It's a waggle.
It's a waggle, and it's on the receiver
There
to,
you go, Max.
to at least put a little chip on that D end, and then
Right.
he's gonna bust out to the flat, and therefore it puts the responsibility on that corner to cover the receiver or cover the quarterback, and the quarterback does the opposite.
Well,
Josh Allen did the same thing with a little touch pass.
Yeah.
So
I just like I said, I just didn't agree. I thought a run there would have done the trick instead of a play action.
So I'm giving
got-
McCaffrey a head smack for that.
We're
Scotty,
still
I
going
think we're
rounds?
on your turn. Yeah, we're still
Okay,
on your turn.
cool.
Head smacks.
I'm going to go Coleman as well. I wanted him to step up. I thought he could be a dark horse in this game. I thought it solidify that offensive line. I think it was you yesterday, Jesse, said you didn't see where was Lucas. I mean, it was weird because for most of the season we've seen the Coleman-Lucas tandem.
Oh,
at
they
left
stopped. They
tackle.
stopped that a long time ago.
I know that. I know that. But maybe we need to go back to that because Coleman's been out on an island a couple of games now, and he's not looked good in the last two games.
Chase got 2 sacks yesterday. One of them I think Jaden ran into. But again, I'm going to knock Jaden a little bit for holding the ball.
Yeah. I think. Listen, Cam Jordan. And say what you want about Chase Young.
He's a quality player.
He is a strong, quality player. And he's for every count that I heard leading up to this game, New Orleans loves him. They love what he's doing there. Maybe there's not the big sack numbers, but we've seen him his rookie year. He's got the skill. I think I'd pump the brakes on giving Coleman too much heat.
Black.
He is a rookie.
Oh no, I
and
get
he
that.
has done well.
I get that, but he has.
So-
But overall, he's been very good. But he had a poor game yesterday. He was very bad yesterday.
I think
And
the
whole
O line
offensive
was
line
all.
bad.
I think the entire O line was out of sync. I don't think Jaden trusts the O line yesterday, and I think
he waited
it starts.
a lot. He stayed back there too long a lot.
Well, I'm talking about moving up into the pocket when the ends are collapsing down, moving up. I didn't see him do that when there was opportunity to, but I don't think he trusted Dieter. I don't think
on his big run, you could see that he turned around and yelled at him.
Yeah, and I don't think Cliff. I don't think Cliff had a whole bunch of trust in Dieter as well. He's the one that's calling the line plays, and maybe there's some some communication issues.
There's one time where Dieter's calling in a line play and he's waiting for a call or a protection to come in from Cosme, and Cosme's looking at Jaden like that, and the fucking ball is snapped before he's even got into there.
Yeah.
And then Cam Jordan got through, and it's like, well, that is going to happen if you stop. If you start the play before it was there, the timing was off for quite a few of them snaps. Even the first snap, John, you mentioned, it was way out to the right.
Yeah, Jaden had to make a great, nice little catch to grab it. It looked simple, but it's like I said yesterday to you guys. I'm glad he warms up with a basketball because that's how you catch that ball.
If Chase was shit, he wouldn't have got 2 sacks on this yesterday. So
that's true, and he does lead in pressures, and eventually pressures are going to turn into sacks. And yesterday,
sacks are down.
Well, he got his sacks yesterday doing something that was remarkable, which was staying home and playing disciplined ball.
Yeah.
He didn't get stupid out there.
I just don't think he got coached really good when he was here.
No.
I just don't think, Jesse, to be fair to Scouse and what his point is, I don't think that Chase was the elite talent we all expected him to be.
Wow.
And to bounce... Yeah, I know, but to bounce onto your third team already... It's not been great for him so far.
No.
I hope he finds a home in New Orleans and they do with him and he turns into be a great player. But he's not this generational talent that we were kind of promised.
And sometimes that happens come out of college.
No, I know.
But I think he's a solid pass. He's been solid for
Would you want him on our team? Sure, absolutely.
If he played like that,
exactly.
Because we're besides Fowler and Louisville, we're hard up on getting rushes on quarterbacks this year.
Hey, Dorrance got a sack yesterday.
Dorrance got 2 sacks yesterday.
We'll get on that.
And he made another really nice play on a run that the Saints were trying to be slick, and he just sniffed that shit out and snuffed it. Sniffed and snuffed. That was nice.
But,
all right, so
head smacks. I think we're on Max.
All the head smacks you guys took them all. Like,
all right,
I don't really know if you can blame
go to
the
butt
run
pats
game.
for defense. Scott, Max, go ahead. You're first.
Can we give a head? I just want to give a head smack to Terry for dropping an easy catch.
This one,
it was right on your tips of your finger.
I want to give a very light butt pat to Jeremy Chin.
He's right.
Just because I don't want to hurt him. He's
got a sack.
I'm saying a light butt pat. Jeremy Chin. I'm giving a light butt pat because I don't want him to get a headache again.
What? Chin hasn't been a malingerer this year.
He's got a concussion right now, Pops.
He has got a concussion.
Well, that's fine. You have a concussion, but
you're right. But he
Chin's
got a sack.
Good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He had 2
I knew where you were
tackles for
going with it,
loss.
Max.
He had a sack. He had a lot of tackles. He was in a lot.
I think we need to extend him.
Instead of having a butt pat, you want to just give him a cuddle. That's what you want.
Exactly. I want to give him a little caress.
A little cuddle. A little spoon action.
But yeah, Jeremy Chin deserves one, definitely.
Max giving a little cuddle to Jeremy Chin there.
Yeah, I'll just stroke his chin,
Ooh.
All right, so Scotty, give me a butt pat on defense.
I'm going to go out of the box here a little bit. I'm going to go Dante Fowler Jr.
Attaboy.
You did fuck all wrong on either of them stupid calls. Right thing to do, and I thought he had a great game. I thought he was I'm not
that
having
one
I
was egregious.
Letter of the law,
the
letter of the law. I
second
get
one,
it.
the letter
but
of the law.
Nah, man.
His
I thought he was very
finger
good.
got within maybe a micron of the helmet, and
His finger, he touched the helmet. It's a foul.
Right. It's the issue of the rule, though, because, you
It's
look at a roughing the passer, and it shouldn't be a personal foul if the quarterback is going to get up clapping about it.
Well, yeah, if it's a personal foul, I want that dude getting up and put in an ambulance. That's a personal foul. Or, at least insult his mother. The way I saw that, you got to be able to give a little credit for the shoulder. He's coming down for the ball. They expect defenders, and this is, all right, you know what? I'm going to get on a soapbox here just for a minute. God damn it.
Strap in, everybody.
That's right. Fuck these fucking referees and fuck the NFL for their fucking officiating. Look, God damn it, Roger, you have fucked this shit completely. Look, for the last 25 years, they've done everything they can to fucking juice it into the offense's favor. There's been one rules change for the defense, and you expect these motherfuckers to play so clean that they can't play football anymore. Oh, his finger got within a shadow of his helmet. Throw a flag and protect him. You can't protect him. Did you see who that was? That was Spencer Rattler, who was fucking going out, who's taking over for Hayner because fucking Carr was on his second injury status.
You're gonna get an aneurysm.
You're right. Here it comes. Because you can't protect these quarterbacks. Everything you've ever done to try to protect these fucking quarterbacks doesn't fucking work. And you've got it to the point where a guy like Sean Hochuli can get in the way of the game by throwing flags that are for fucking playing football.
Look,
Go off, King. Keep
44-20-ish. You sounded like a car trying to start in the cold.
Need to pull the choke out on that one, John.
I got stuck on Derek Carr. But yeah, when you look at
Steven Scouse that vein. Yeah.
I want y'all to understand that was my childhood.
Get the choke pulled out on that one.
When you talk about all of these rules to protect quarterbacks, and you look at every matchup as they go through the season, and you look at how many of them are backup against backup, piece of shit quarterback against piece of shit quarterback, and you keep making rules to protect them, so much so that a fucking referee whose father was fucking up games 20 years ago can't goddamn manage a fucking clock, something that Germans have been able to do since about 1421. Assholes, the goddamn officiating in this league. And Sean Hochuli, you're the worst of them. You're the worst of them. I would send you a shit pie for Christmas if I knew your fucking address. And that's all I got to say about it.
Really? That it?
That's it, yes.
We're done.
My soapbox is done. Right.
Get
this
out.
is for you, Sean Hochuli.
Now. All right.
And I bet you everybody out there paying attention to There you go, Sean. That's for you.
Attack her. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nice.
Hey, I worked on my triceps. Let's throw a bunch of goddamn holding calls. I look great when I do that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that there.
No, he doesn't do this. He does this.
Fuck him. Fuck him and fuck his father.
What segment were we on?
Penalties that way.
We're on butt pats for defense.
There you
Your
go.
turn, Jesse.
Yes, butt pats for defense.
I mean, Lattimore. I mean, lockdown Lat.
Not even targeted.
I had to have a conversation with somebody today because he told me that why do we even get this guy? It's like,
are you serious?
I mean, granted, he shut down nobody.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody else that got
the fact that they didn't even go that
even
way.
Look at him.
That's called dictating. That's dictating the offense.
You know what? It's good when you don't see the corner on the stat sheet.
Yeah. I think I saw him one time. I saw the back of his jersey one time, and that was after a play was over with. And
yeah, I think you're right. I
think
think it was a running play. I thought I saw him in. But I feel better about A.J. Brown now.
A little bit.
For sure.
Well,
I mean,
and he's also got
plays.
hurt yesterday. So did Saquon. I don't know how bad they are.
Play. They will play. In this
game,
game,
both of them left the game for.
The biggest injury in that game is T.J. Watt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. All right, so my butt pat on defense, I'm going to go ahead and take Mikey.
Attaboy.
Hey, man, Mikey Sanders still got an interception. He had
he's
another one
leading the team in interceptions with
two. Two is good. Go for 3, go for 4. Let's get 5 before the season's over, Mikey.
There you go.
He had 2 yesterday. He had one hit him in the hands, and he did the old, it's going to go through my hands and hit me in the face, man. That's bullshit.
I think Luvu had stone hands, too, I think.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was too bad.
Is that our transition?
That's
no, I'm going to go. I got one more.
Yeah.
One more. I'm going to go. Dorrance Armstrong has to get one. He had a good game. First
Daron
game.
Payne made it on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I was just saying, Daron Payne had a good game, too.
Yeah.
I think that they pretty much shut down Alvin Kamara until they made that one play.
That was all he had. He had the one play, and then he had the fluky touchdown. And
well, he got hurt. He left the game.
Yeah, that was a good pass by who was that?
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson. That was a good pass. That was good play design, to be honest.
Sure.
Well, did you see what happened when the Colts ran into the
Oh, yeah. That was so funny.
Yes, did. Yeah, the Colts got fucked on theirs. But yesterday I said when it happened, this is it. This is the second quarter, and this is all they can come up with is this fluky shit to get something to go, to get a positive play. And then in the second half, I think that the defense listened to me and said, yeah, you know what? We don't even need to show up. We'll just fucking hang back. Yeah. And the offense, too. The offense went to sleep, too. So, you can't sit on leads in this league. Simple as that.
Head smacks for defense.
Yeah, let's do defense.
The second half defense.
Second half defense. All
Listen, plus 83 points, first half team. Second half, only plus 3. Not good. Not very
Good
good.
job, Scott G.
Yeah.
What's got
Jonathan Taylor costed Scouse
some
a
money.
chunk of change
Poor
last
Scouse.
night.
Poor Scouse. And, I gave Scouse the game in the Yanks versus Wanks. I didn't mean to. It's not like I was feeling any kind of charity for him. I just forgot to put Terry in the game because I was out of it. And I said, fuck it, I didn't change my lineup. And I didn't put Terry in the game.
Scotty.
And Scouse got a freebie off me.
Who's your head smack, pal?
Yeah, I get a hit smack.
My head smack has got to be Benjamin St. Ghost, doesn't it?
Going for fucking 2 plays and 50%,
snaps.
and half your fucking plays are penalties. You fucking schmuck.
He's got to go. I'm sorry. For all of the Tim Meeks
Depth,
out there, and
maybe?
we love
Would
you,
you
Tim,
keep
but
him?
for all of the people out there that go, he does great until he gets to the one time he gets bad. Everybody gets on him. Look, man, he comes out there, and when a guy makes a move on him, his fucking first reaction is to stick his hands up in the guy's face. That's a penalty, you fucking Canadian bastard. Don't you realize that shit yet? Or do they need to call it in French for you to understand what you're doing wrong? Hands into the face.
Here comes the vein.
There it goes again. I've had enough with St. Juice. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Fucking put some
He's
super
a
glue on
free
his ass
agent
and put him on a
free
bench.
agent in the
As
summer.
the most
Thank God.
shocking head smack of the week,
Go ahead.
Frankie Louvu.
For dropping the
Stem
interception?
hands.
He also didn't register a tackle.
Ooh.
Was he ineffective? I don't think he was ineffective.
He registered no tackles. He had 2 quarterback hits, and he had a pass
I
defense.
saw one. He came in like a missile. Oh, I mean, he came in like a missile that one play.
But he didn't get the tackle.
A missile.
Oh, well, for him, I guess Max doesn't like you, Frankie Louvu. Scotty,
He's a
what do you got
bum,
for head smacks on
as
defense?
Scouse would say.
Well, has Jesse been yet?
Yes.
Yeah,
all
I
gone.
gave second half defense was.
Yeah.
Okay. Head smacks. Yeah, I think.
Oh,
we-
you did.
I
You
think
you
we
gave
picked them all.
Benjamin St. Just, and I think
I
we
did
all
St. Ghost, yeah.
It's
St. Ghost.
There's pretty much nothing else
St.
left
Ghost.
to say. The second half defense was bad, and St. Just was particularly bad in such a small opportunity to be bad. He was as bad as he could get.
So
That's just terrible. That's just terrible. I know, really, man. St. Ghost.
is your man of the match.
That's
Who
where we're
was the man
going.
on? What do we call that? The guy with the command performance. I still have a
Yes.
graphic for that. All right, the guy with the command.
I mean,
performance.
I think you can only give it to 2 people. Matter of fact, Jaden.
And it's number
Jaden.
5.
Jaden.
Yeah, he took the team on his back and we won because of him.
I'm gonna go with Terry.
Terry?
Yeah, I mean, those are the only 2. I mean, you could say Terry. I mean, obviously, if we didn't have Terry on the field, I don't know what more
we're
Jaden
scoring.
couldn't have done.
Right.
You know,
Hochuli's man of the match.
Yeah, no shit. Hochuli is man of the match.
Oh my God.
Right.
Now,
The clock. Yeah, Jesus, the clock operator. Cheers.
real quick, I want to give a head smack to the NFL person who's in charge of flexing the schedules.
All right, go ahead. Give
Did
it
you
to
all
that
see
kid.
what they did this week for this
Her name
upcoming
is
week?
Jennifer, by the way.
Have they not
Jennifer,
flexed
this is
the
for you.
flexed the Bills game, haven't they?
They flexed the Bills and Patriots game to be the national doubleheader.
oh my God.
Drake May versus Josh Allen is going to be the national game, and San Francisco and Miami's taking a backseat.
What day
That's
is
fine.
this?
This is Sunday. This
So
Sunday.
that's the 22nd.
It's the game. This
Yeah.
game's on Saturday.
They,
isn't
they
it?
couldn't flex our game because of Fox has to have one.
It's the Christmas season, and
because-
everybody wants to watch somebody.
You're
get
right.
the shit
Jesse,
kicked
I
out
get
of them.
that,
So
but-
we're gonna watch the Bills take on.
You can
What other
change
good- what
the
other
network.
good
You can
matchups do
change
they have?
networks though, and Minnesota Seattle's playing.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah,
We're playing Philadelphia. Tampa Bay Dallas is the Sunday night game. Like what are we talking about? There's 2 games on Saturday, which looking pretty intriguing. The game
We've got
Thursday night's going to be
We've
good.
got 2 Monday night games.
Tonight we
Tonight,
do,
yeah,
not
yeah.
next week.
Yes, we've
got
got
the Bears and
Chicago,
Vikings
Minnesota
tonight.
tonight, and then we've got
I think
Atlanta
it's-
and
Atlanta, Vegas. Yeah.
Hey, you know what would be fun? Just for Adam Rank, the Bears win tonight when it doesn't mean a fucking thing because they're bounced out of the playoffs.
You know, I think week 16 or
got a
17
Friday-
and
we've
18,
got a
the
Friday
NFL
night game.
has all rights on every game as far
Friday
as
night.
flexing.
Is that
Anything
Christmas Day?
before
Oh no,
that,
it's.
the
I'm looking
So,
at it. It's a
week
1:15
18
kickoff.
So they have full flex rates 15 through 18. Week 17 this week next week we have 2 Christmas Day games, a Thursday night game, a slate of Sunday games, and then 5 games that have yet to be determined when they will be played. We are in that slot. We might be playing on the 28th of December.
Yeah, we
they got
could
a
be
game on
playing
Wednesday.
Saturday.
They got 2 games on Christmas Day.
Man, who do you have coming up on?
Well, that's
who
it's
That's
2
the
days of
Netflix
rest.
games, right?
Listen.
God.
It's the same teams that are playing Saturday.
All right.
They're playing them on Wednesday because it's the same rest as
So
the
they're just
Thursday
gonna
night
swap
football.
everybody around. Yeah, you would have to because it's just
So-
not fair otherwise. Unless
but-
it's the
So
Cowboys
we-
and the Giants. Fuck them.
Do you think we'll play a Saturday game?
Depending on how big that Atlanta game turns into, it wouldn't surprise me.
I think it is going to be a big game.
I think so.
Because Atlanta's
Well, they're
got-
gonna hype it up.
they-
Atlanta will
They're
have a
going to win
chance.
tonight. They're probably going to win. They have an easy schedule. The only hard game they have left on their schedule is us.
Atlanta
Fucking
next
I
week
wouldn't
plays the
play.
Giants, who might be starting Tim Boyle.
Yeah. So they got Raiders, they got the Giants, they got us, and then they have another easy team week 18
Carolina.
after Carolina. Yeah. So
Raiders are winning tonight, by the way.
I think that game will probably be one of the primetime slots. Maybe Saturday evening, the
know
late
what?
Saturday game.
I wouldn't be upset about that.
That'd be nice. I might go to that game.
No, last time you went to the game, the most inexplicable shit happened.
That's probably right.
The last time you went to a Sunday night game, the most
Right.
inexplicable calls happened.
What you need to do is go to the game and then immediately get in your truck, because as soon as you do that, good shit
Just
happens.
don't get out of your truck.
No, get out and then get back in and go, so that you can catch the game driving down the road. All right, who we have next? We have Philadelphia next, and that is next Sunday, correct?
Next Sunday
Yes.
at 1 o'clock.
Next Sunday, 1 o'clock. That
You know
game
what?
is fucking huge.
I feel good about this fucking Philly game.
I feel all right about it. We came out flat. It's I
Again,
can't
coming
say we
out
came-
flat. Can we talk about
We
that
weren't
just for
flat.
a second?
We weren't flat. We were up 17-0.
Like,
Yeah, but you're right.
Okay, but
was
it's
a
the
weak
same thing where
17.
we dominated the game, but we couldn't score. It's the same. That's what I told you would happen.
It's not dominating. But we did score. We had 17.
You're right, we had
unanswered
17 points. I told you it'd be 28-10. I was very close.
Well, true, but we left points out there. And I mean,
they missed
in
a
a couple
kick,
of
too.
situations.
Yeah, I mean, if Jaden was on point and Terry had hands, he would have scored 5 fucking touchdowns that game.
All right, over or under? How many more kickers do we have before the end of the season?
7 more.
0.
3 weeks.
0, Scott. You are being very bold.
No, I think like on the roster currently, or ones that have
No.
previously
How many
been.
more are we going to have to use? How
Oh,
many more
okay.
kickers?
Then I think 2.
Two.
I think 2 because I think we go back to we back
Gonzalez?
to what's his name, Gonzalez next
What's
week,
his name? I think what's his name covers all of our kickers.
and then
How many
after
kickers have we
that
had?
we'll be back into Siebert.
Scott, did you get the list of kickers?
Yeah, let's give Scott a
Yes,
chance.
it did. Yeah.
Scott Hardley with the list.
What are
of
you
the
asking,
week.
Jesse?
No, I heard Greg Joseph stubbed his toe on the way up the stairs yesterday.
Oh, seriously.
We got to look at who's buying our who is supplying shoes for our kicker, because I think we're getting them from a like a fucking woman's
our
store.
kicking balls are probably coming out of the freezer at this
They're
point.
probably giving them these freaking torture devices to wear on their feet. Yeah. So all right. So give us your list. How many kickers have we signed since January?
Yeah, that will be interesting. I didn't write this down. It was on a tweet, and I'm trying to find it now.
So you were lazy. You let Nikki Jablabla
lazy.
do your work for you.
I did. Well, why do that? You know, I mean, might as well.
Well,
I don't
because
know
we
what I'm
call
doing.
it we call it Scott's. I mean, we have a fucking intro and everything. Next time we'll just put one up that says Scott reads what Nikki Jablabla wrote on Twitter.
Well, it's the same stuff, isn't it? So
I just want to say
That
the way
doesn't
Scott
matter.
The way that Scott was just going, wow, that's the same thing about a car starting in the cold.
Definitely. Oh shit! I can't find it. I'm useless.
All right. Well, while Scott
good,
looks
not
up how
us.
many kickers we have, we've now signed a new kicker by the name of Joe Smo. All right. So let's see. We're looking on to Philadelphia. Max, how do you see Philadelphia this game? Jesse and I feel pretty confident, but
I
how
still
confident?
think that with a healthy Jaden Daniels, we can win that game.
As long as the chlamydia running through the offensive line gets cleared up.
Got to get those boys to stop sucking dicks and shit. That's all there is to it. Scott, have you found our You know, Scott, here's something that
probably
can help.
lose.
Here's
to
something that can help.
Field goal.
They have this thing called bookmarks, so that when you're looking at it and you say,
I know. I've got it here. I've got it here. I did have it. I did have it bookmarked. So we start with Dustin Hopkins, and we're going back that far. Who played 46 games for us? Then we went to Joey Sly, who played 46 games for us. Then we went to Austin Siebert with 9. Then we went to Zane Gonzalez. This is going off how many games we've had. Zane Gonzalez has 3 games. Brian Johnson had 3 games. Cade York had 2. Chris Blewett had 2. Riley Patterson had 2. Ramiz Ahmed. Remember him? He had a game.
He was one preseason kick.
Yeah. Mike Badgley had 1 game. Kajir Vedvik. Never heard of him. He didn't play.
My advice instead of fucking bust to Poland. They said go.
Yeah. He's off to eat some. He's off to eat some borscht. That's what he's currently doing. He's eating some borscht in a Ukrainian field. Yeah. Brett Mayer, who he had none. Eddie Pinheiro was also signed. He had none. Then we have someone called. This is a strange name. I'm trying to pronounce.
Wasn't Eddie Pinheiro? Wasn't he a high draft pick?
He's actually thinking quite well right now.
Yeah.
I always said that he sounds like a Ford from 1975.
Right, I'm going to try and pronounce this, but I'm going to butcher it. He's called Lirim Hadjirula. Nope, never heard of him either.
And that sounds like
never heard of him.
They went to Iran and got someone off the soccer.
Yeah, and then the final one is Brandon McManus, who didn't play again. So that's all who've been signed to the team. But obviously this season who've played
a lot.
Signed
since
to the
Dustin
team.
Hopkins.
I mean, since Dustin Hopkins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Here, I'm going to give you an impression. This is Tim Meek when somebody mentions Dustin Hopkins. Ready?
I mean, Chris Blewett had 4 kicks blocked in 2 games. That's just you said that name, and I got the.
I mean,
who's the guy? Wait, we're missing somebody because somebody drafted a kicker really, really high, and we signed him.
Wasn't it the Buccaneers drafted the guy from
Cade York?
Was it Roberto Aguayo?
Aguayo, yes.
Right. They
traded up to draft him in the 2nd round.
Yes,
right.
yes. He was signed to this team for a minute.
He was here for a minute.
And that was after Hopkins.
Let's see, Roberto Aguayo.
What was he called?
Roberto Aguayo.
I don't know if he ever. It was a Rivera. Rivera brought him in, didn't he?
I thought he did.
No.
I don't think he ever played for us. He never kicked once.
No, those ones I was just saying haven't played for us. Actual games this season, we've had Badgley with 1, Ahmed with 1, Patterson with 1, 2. Sorry, Cade York with 2.
I know we brought that motherfucker in. I know we did.
Gonzalez 3, Seibert 9. That's 6. I think we had 6 kickers this year.
Just since the beginning of the season.
Yeah. What? And what was the kick? Who kicked
Roberto
yesterday?
Aguayo or some shit. Yeah, he must have just came in for a workout. But I remember because I remember
What about that guy that had the glasses that kicked for the Colts last year?
Blankenship.
Yeah, where's he ended up? That guy
Not in the league, I think.
All right, yeah, he was all of a sudden the hot shit, and then he fell off the planet, and that's what happens to.
Do you know what we haven't included? Do you know what we haven't included in there? Our kicker from yesterday is not on that list. So technically, it's 15, and that takes us to 7 kickers this season.
Limp.
Hey, honest to God, I think that Scott's internet says you've had an hour now. You're done, and his connection starts going.
Has he gone again?
Not just now. It was starting.
I'm sending y'all something in our chat, and look at it real quick and see if you think Jaden's got a limp. This is like a few minutes ago. He's giving away some bikes.
All right, let's see here.
Bikes.
See if we can get it on the screen. I'll get it on the screen if you want, Jesse.
That's just how he walks, dog.
Let me just put it on here.
No, man. It looks like he's got a limp. I'll put it up there.
Oh, it doesn't look like
I've got it on now.
Mr. Jaden Daniels.
It's a little limp. He's got a bruise or two.
I think he's beat up.
He took 8 sacks yesterday. Man.
He's also wearing those heavy boots.
Dude,
how's everybody doing today?
like he's Frankenstein. He's got boots that weigh 50 pounds.
It's always a pleasure
Yes.
to come back and get back, especially being my first year out here and be able to get back. I did something like this last year with Canes.
Hey, go to your bookmarks, Scott. I want to see what you got on there.
Just
kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, God.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. All right, let's get on
Yeah,
that.
we know better than to look at Jess.
It's got Nicky Javala on there. Look.
Hey,
Kickers.
That's weird. We heard the volume. Did everybody hear that?
I heard it.
Yeah.
We tried to do that the other day, and that didn't work.
Well,
football's worst, most disturbing injuries that changed the football world. That's about it. That's all I've got on the on the tab there.
It looks like he got a little limp. I don't know.
What's up, Calvin?
Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin actually was. This is the guy that was the cartoon character when we were all kids. He got rid of the tiger when he was 9, and now he's with us here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Welcome, Calvin.
All right.
Looks like Jaden needs a bike.
I need a bike.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the guy took 8 sacks yesterday. If he's not limping around a little bit, I'd be surprised. He's probably got a few bruises
only got
on his
tackled.
legs.
He was like 3 of them. He ran out of bounds. So it's in reality, it's only like 5.
He got hit. Yeah, he play a football.
Well, yeah, he's
game,
probably a little
walk like
sore.
that on Monday. Yeah, he's sore. I'm sure. All right, so let's see. We got the Eagles coming up next week. We got the 1 Point Safety Show Thursday at 3 p.m. Let's hit our music here. Hit our music here. Jesse, you think we're going to win on Friday or on Sunday?
I'd like to say yes, but
Well,
Hey, I'll
then
be
say it.
there. Courtesy of the 1 Point Safety Show.
That's right. Max is going to the football
There
game.
you go. And the bunker.
And the bunker.
It's a joint ticket. So
Well, there you go.
Oh, boy. That must be some fun breathing.
I'll say yes today, but Friday might be a different story.
Friday is going to be doomed.
38-10 loss.
But
And you know what?
something that everybody needs to watch out for.
I don't think you're actually going to be wrong.
Somebody
what
that
happens.
something
Anything can
that we all need to look out for. Look out for these injuries, especially on the Phillies side.
Calvin, we don't need a kicker. We've had 7, and it just doesn't work.
Can you kick, Calvin?
Yeah, you're right. We do. We do need a kicker.
AJ Brown went out with the knee. So
the thing about it, somebody said today, how do you stop Saquon? And I just said, you don't. You don't. You just hope to mitigate him, and you hope to be able to let the field compress. What you don't want is him scoring from outside the 30-yard line and, with these big, long runs. You want the field to compress so that you can try to keep them from between the 20 and the 10. If you can do that and keep them away from their tush-push bullshit, you got a better chance. But that's the main thing for me with Saquon. You can't hope to stop him. Nobody's going to stop him. You just got to try to mitigate him.
We did that mostly when we played them in Philly. He took off in the fourth quarter.
He's going to get pissed.
All right. Oh, well.
I mean, we tried. But our fourth quarters haven't been good anyway. So we'll see you Friday when we will talk about these Philadelphia Eagles and find out how well we're going to do. And until then, later.